Imagine being able to master almost any skill without going back to school. What if you could learn a new language, become a programmer, start a business, or acquire any valuable skill by designing your own learning system? That's exactly what Scott Young discovered. In his book Ultralearning, Scott Young shares the strategies used by some of the world's most successful self-learners, people who achieved extraordinary results through intense and focused self-education. In this video, we'll explore the 9 Principles of Ultralearning and discover how you can use them to learn faster, smarter, and more effectively. Let's begin. Chapter 1. What is ultralearning? Scott Young defines ultralearning as an aggressive and self-directed approach to acquiring skills and knowledge. Instead of depending entirely on schools or traditional education, ultralearners take responsibility for their own learning. They create their own curriculum, set ambitious goals, and learn through deliberate practice. Throughout history, many remarkable people have followed this approach. For example, Benjamin Franklin taught himself writing by studying articles and rewriting them in his own words. Scott Young himself completed the entire 4-year MIT computer science curriculum in just 1 year, using online resources. The message is clear. You don't need permission to learn. You only need curiosity, discipline, and a system. Task: think of one skill you have always wanted to learn. Write down: what skill do you want to master? Why is it important to you? What result do you hope to achieve? Challenge: spend 5 minutes today deciding on one skill you will commit to learning. Chapter 2. Principle 1. Meta-learning. Before starting to learn anything, first learn how to learn it. This is called meta-learning. Think of it like planning a journey before driving. You need to understand: what exactly do you want to learn? Why do you want to learn it? How will you learn it? Scott recommends spending about 10% of your total learning time planning and researching. Suppose you want to learn video editing. Before opening CapCut or Premiere Pro, study what professional editors do, which skills are essential, and what tools they use. Planning saves time and prevents confusion. Remember, the better your map, the easier your journey. Task: before jumping into learning, spend time researching. Write down: what do experts recommend? What resources will you use? How long will you study each day? Challenge: create a simple learning plan for the next 30 days. Chapter 3. Principle 2. Focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media notifications, endless scrolling, and multitasking constantly steal our attention. But deep concentration is the superpower of ultra-learners. Scott explains that learning requires uninterrupted focus. Instead of studying while checking your phone every few minutes, dedicate blocks of focused time. Even 1 hour of deep work can be more valuable than 3 hours of distracted work. Train yourself to remove distractions. Turn off notifications. Create a quiet environment. Protect your attention because your attention determines your results. Task: identify your biggest distractions. Write down: which apps or habits interrupt your study? When are you most productive? Challenge: study with complete focus for 60 minutes without checking your phone. Chapter 4. Principle 3. Directness. Many people spend years preparing without actually doing the thing they want to learn. Scott calls this indirect learning. Ultra-learners do the opposite. They practice the skill directly. If you want to speak English, speak English. If you want to become a writer, write every day. If you want to create YouTube videos, start making videos. Real-world practice accelerates learning far more than endless preparation. Learning by doing is one of the most powerful principles in the book. Task. Stop preparing and start doing. Examples. Want to speak English? Speak English today. Want to edit videos? Edit a video today. Want to write? Write something today. Challenge. Spend at least 30 minutes practicing the actual skill you want to master. Chapter 5. Principle 4. Drill. Improvement comes from identifying weaknesses and attacking them directly. Great athletes don't practice everything equally. They focus on the areas where they struggle the most. If your learning English and pronunciation is weak, practice pronunciation. If your editing videos and transitions are difficult, spend extra time mastering transitions. Small weaknesses often create big limitations. Fixing them creates massive improvements. Task. Find your weakest area. Ask yourself, what part of this skill do I struggle with the most? Which specific component needs improvement? Challenge. Spend 1 hour focusing only on your weakest area. Chapter 6. Principle 5. Retrieval. Many people think learning means rereading notes, but research shows that trying to remember information strengthens memory far more effectively. Close the book. Test yourself. Explain concepts from memory. Answer questions without looking at the answers. The harder your brain works to retrieve information, the stronger your memory becomes. Learning isn't about recognizing information. It's about being able to recall it when needed. Task. Close your notes and test yourself. Examples. Explain the topic without looking. Write everything you remember. Answer practice questions. Challenge. Recall what you learned yesterday without opening your book or notes. Chapter 7. Principle 6. Feedback. Without feedback, progress becomes slow. Feedback reveals mistakes and shows where improvement is needed. Writers need readers. Golfers need coaches. Content creators need viewers. Don't fear criticism. Welcome it. Feedback is not an attack. It's information. And information helps you grow. Task. Seek feedback from others. Examples. Ask a teacher or mentor. Show your work to friends. Read comments from viewers. Challenge. Ask one person for honest feedback this week. Chapter 8. Principle 7. Retention. Learning something once is not enough. Knowledge fades over time. To retain information, review regularly, use spaced repetition, teach others, apply what you learn. Knowledge that isn't used is eventually forgotten. The goal isn't just to learn. The goal is to remember. Task. Review what you've learned. Use spaced repetition, flashcards, teaching someone else, taking notes from memory. Challenge. Review something you learned 1 week ago and see how much you remember. Chapter 9. Principle 8. Intuition. True understanding goes beyond memorization. Ultralearners seek to understand why things work. Instead of accepting facts blindly, they ask questions. Why? How? What if? Curiosity creates deeper understanding, and deeper understanding leads to creativity and mastery. Task. Go beyond memorization. Ask yourself, why does this work? How does it work? What would happen if things were different? Challenge. Choose one concept and explain it in simple words, as if teaching a 10-year-old. Chapter 10. Principle 9. Experimentation. There is no perfect learning method. The best learners constantly experiment. Try different techniques. Test different schedules. Adjust your approach. Keep what works. Discard what doesn't. Learning is a lifelong process of improvement. Task. Become your own scientist. Try different study schedules, different learning resources, different note-taking methods. Challenge. Experiment with one new learning method this week and evaluate the results. Final lessons. Ultralearning teaches us that extraordinary results don't require extraordinary talent. They require extraordinary methods. The 9 principles are meta-learning, focus, directness, drill, retrieval, feedback, retention, intuition, experimentation. You don't need permission to learn. You don't need to wait for the perfect opportunity. You can start today, because in the age of the internet, knowledge is available to everyone. The only question is, are you willing to become an ultra-learner? Final 30-day ultra-learning challenge. Day 1, choose a skill. Day 2, create a learning plan. Day 3 to 7, build a daily study habit. Week 2, practice the skill directly. Week 3, identify weaknesses and seek feedback. Week 4, review, experiment, and improve. Remember, knowledge alone doesn't change your life. Applied knowledge does. The purpose of learning is not simply to know more. It is to become more. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to learn faster and achieve more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.